हटकत अब के मेनू बहेलो है करना रे होय सो कलेर साधो दर्शन को गेलो है पार ब्रह्म को जनत नहीं अरे भूया भूया भरम गेलो है करना रे होय सो कलेर साधो कोई कहे गोलों को है कोई कहे शिव नगरी में साहिब तारा जुग जुग छाछ बहेलो है कोई कहे शिव नगरी में साहिब तारा जुग जुग हाथ बहेलो है करना रे होय सो कलेर साधो समझा हरि दूर बतावे 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 समझा तात कहे लो है सतगुरु सैण अमोलक जी हर दम हर हो गेलो है सतगुरु सैण अमोलक जी हर दम हर हो गेलो है करना रे होय सो कलेर साधो करना रे होय सो कलेर साधो
Kalo na janati tava jananam. Kalo na janati tava samapanam. Drushto maya tava mahakaraha Yogeshwara kala kala. Yogeshwara kala kala. Namaskaram to all of you who are here, and namaskaram to every one of you wherever you are. I just lost 11.5 hours of my 2021. Just landed here from United States this afternoon, but suddenly I realized I've lost nearly half a day. So, as I was flying, a few months ago somebody was asking me, when we released the Eternally course, Sadhguru, when do you write poems? These days only in the airplanes. Because once I'm on land, it's a ceaseless activity. This is called time. As ceaseless mill of time rolls on without a footprint upon the space that it traverses, but at once leaving a deep imprint upon human experience and of course wearing life down towards its end. As the ceaseless mill of time rolls on without a footprint upon the space that it traverses, but at once leaving deep imprint upon human experience and of course wearing life down towards its end. In wearing the cloak of body, loose and in ease, shall you leave… In wearing the cloak of body, loose and in ease, shall leave you uncreased by the imprints of time. In wearing the cloak of body, loose and in ease, shall leave you uncreased by the imprints of time. In becoming seamless space from being seamed substance, shall one know the joy of riding the cycles of time, as time can be a joyride or a crushing mill. In wearing the cloak of body, loose and in ease, shall one leave you… Some correction. In wearing the cloak of body, loose and in ease, shall leave you uncreased by the imprints of time. In becoming seamless space from being seamed substance, shall one know the joy of riding the cycles of time, as time can be a joyride or a crushing mill. Well, it's last few hours of 2021, and the governments of the state and the country in India are doing their best to see that, because it's a tradition, in the last part of the New Year, people should do really silly things. It's a culture evolved over the last 25, 30 years, maybe before that it was not so. So, the government is stopping… don't think they're trying to prevent the spread of Mr. Omicron. They're trying to see that you don't do something stupid. Anyway, if I say something silly, that's because I'm jet-lagged, okay? Well, one of the biggest things that I'm hearing in the world about how human beings are suffering this pandemic, well, unfortunately, those who went through very bad states of the disease, and many lost their lives, over 6 million people, I think. United States alone has reached 850,000. One country with 350 million people has reached 850,000 deaths. So almost everybody has lost somebody who's dear to them in the form of friends or family. Yes, that is tragic. But more than that, a whole lot of human beings are suffering, that they can't go to the party, they can't go to the pub, they're not able to do this, that and something else that they were doing. Well, I think it's a good time to observe ourselves and see as a life, not as a person, that also is important, but as a life, how organized is this life? Because organization is not something that you have to teach to any organism. This is an organism. When you put so many organisms together, then you need some organization. Otherwise, this need not be taught organization, this is super organized. And this organization did not happen overnight. This organization happened over a few million or billion years. So, it is a fantastic organization, this organism. I'm calling this organism as an organization because over 90% of your body is just of other organisms. Only about 10 to 11% is the genetic material from your parentage. Over 90% is just other organisms. But there is a cohesion, it is going on, a whole lot of people. If there is no tragic situations, they are managing to live a full life with all this. So the earth itself is a tremendous organism, a living organism. Because there is a misunderstanding in the world that an organism means an individual life. A group of organisms means it needs to be something else. Either it's a pack or a pride or a flock, something. No. That's our way of seeing things. That is the way of the human intellect which dissects everything. That is the way of, unfortunately, the modern systems of education which has keyhole vision of everything, sees everything separately. I think we have paid enough price for it. In the coming years, we may pay a much bigger price for it if we do not realize this and correct this perception and correct this narrative in our own minds and in our actions and the way we run the world. That is, we don't understand that the planet, the earth, is a living organism by itself. It lives. This silly idea that if you dig here, it is phosphorus, iron, copper, magnesium and nitrogen and whatever. No, because it's living, you're living. Now you're right now sitting on the open ground. You need to understand and feel this. You cannot really understand because it's too complex a process. The greatest organization is right there beneath you, where you're sitting, because trillions and trillions of organisms have managed to function cohesively. That is organization. If 100 people come together, they have so many problems. But this is real organization where there is a whole plethora of activity happening. Life is not happening because of a few chemicals put together. If you make a chemical soup, that will not become life. But chemistry is involved. Well, just beneath the soil upon which you're sitting right now is an exchange happening, more complex than any stock exchange on the planet, believe me. Trillions and trillions of organisms are gathering various nutrients and minerals and micronutrients and coming in search of roots of plants and grasses and variety of trees and whatever, vegetation. And there trading is happening. They don't simply give away. They ask for carbon sugars. As the plant captures the carbon from the atmosphere and converts into sugar and pumps it into the soil, the plant is also negotiating. All these microorganisms are negotiating continuously as to who gets more, who gets what. And this transaction is going on in a super sophisticated way, the way human beings cannot even imagine. So this is an organism of trillions and trillions of organisms as we are. This idea of individualism has brought such havoc to the world, has caused so much pain to human beings. As I was saying, the biggest pain for human beings in the last 1 or 2 years, 2020 and 2021, is they are not able to be alone. They are suffering loneliness. Of course they suffer if you put them with people. They will also make others suffer if they are with people, if they are alone. To such a point, the University of Virginia study says 67 men and 25% of women, when they were left alone in bare rooms without any kind of distraction like a television or a phone or even a paper and pen to write something or read something, when they're just left alone by themselves, 67% of men and 25% of women chose to take mild electric shocks rather than be alone. All right. A human being who cannot simply sit here, still and wonderful, is not yet human. Okay? It's an evolutionary issue. Well, nature pushed you on. Hello, it even removed your tail, or are you sinking it in the earth? Yeah, all these little boys, tail gone or… So nature took away your tail and enlarged your brain and enhanced your cerebral activity. The trust that you will do something fantastic, but now Can't keep quiet. So, the new year, another year, previous year, next year means nothing. Because it's the same one, it's the same person. And of course, people are making up, some are writing, some are just thinking up, because if you write down, you'll have to look at it and remember again. By tomorrow evening, it'll be forgotten the resolutions I'm talking about. So, in the last 40 years of activity, I've seen wonderful human beings. I'm not talking about somebody who's not sincere and straight about things. People, very committed, sincere human beings, intelligent human beings. Their resolve towards creating something is such that they will take 5 steps, somebody will take 5 steps. If the 6th step doesn't look very nice, they'll turn back and go. They don't understand they can't roll back time. Time is one thing that you cannot roll back. One thing that you cannot fix is yesterday. There is no way to fix that. Well, you could change directions because of certain things may not be conducive for certain action, but there's no rollback on life. Once you've taken a step, once you've taken a breath, you cannot take the same breath again, you cannot do the same heartbeat again, you cannot live the same moment once again. What's over is over. And it's hurtling forth without your permission. Time is one thing that is not ever seeking anybody's permission, rolling on. Fortunately for all of us at the same time, the same speed rather. Unfortunately, I have been requesting for at least 28 to 30 hours per day for a long time. No response. Same 24 hours. Many people don't know how to live their 24 hours, they're struggling and giving electric shocks to themselves. So, this is something that human beings have to sell, that is the profound level of organization that life is. It has come to this after millions of years of evolution. If you cannot appreciate it, because you have not even paid attention to it. Like I've been all over the world in the last 2 months, talking to various leaders and many people, one common question I'm getting again and again is, Sadhguru, where do you get all this knowledge? Did you study environmental science? I said, environment, the word environment is a crime. Because instead of seeing that you are just one more part of the larger nature, you think you are separate from the environment. This itself is a crime. Once you have such a thought process, once you have such a perception that you are above nature or beyond nature, then naturally what is happening is happening. What you see today in the form of degradation of soils, water sources, everything that matters for life, everything that sustains our life, is just a consequence of what's happening in the human mind. We have not understood, we are a consequence of all the other life that's happening here. They are not a consequence of our life. But right now we think that we are the masters of all that because there is we. And then there is the environment. There is no environment. There is living nature, and it's a fortune that we are also a part of it. It's a great fortune that we are also a part of it, and that's all there is. So, Sadhguru The year is coming to a close. What should I plan for my next year? I would like you to think, see, there is a great advantage in what I'm going to say now. You'll live very long. That is, I would like you to consider 24 hours as 1 year. Hello? In great celebration, you go to sleep today, every day, because you treat every day as a year. It's a cycle of time. I'm sure probably, I don't know, ants or earthworms or some other, maybe even the corona guy. No, I think corona was a woman. Omicron sounds like a man. See, he's mild. So, whatever this virus, probably it's counting 24 hours as a year. Many other life forms may be experiencing life like this. Like people say for a dog, dog's 1 year is 10 years for a human being, or 10 years for a human being is 1 year for a dog, whatever calculations we have. So, I would like you to count every day as 1 year. Big celebration. Of course, if every day is the beginning of a new year, why is it a new day as important as a new year? That's all I'm trying to ask you. Why is a new day, which starts in a most glorious way all over the world, spectacular sunrises happen, well, very few people have seen, others are watching on their phone screens. It rises any time you want on the phone screen, that's the advantage of that. So, when such a spectacular event is happening every day in the morning, why is it not a new beginning? Every day is a new beginning. Sadhguru, you're planning a celebration, you're spoiling it, Sadhguru. No, I'm saying even 1st of January is the same thing. It is also worthy of celebration, but I'm saying every day it begins in such a grand way, it is worthy of celebration. Only problem is, your mental cycles have gotten into this phase that it needs a whole lot of support and preparation and lot of things. Now, maybe this year, that is why maybe government is banning or bringing curfew in the nights, because probably all the alcohol people have used it on their hands. I hope it is so. You think that's why? So, this happened. Shankaran Pillai had attended a satsang like this, and he took this seriously. And every day in the evening, he was at the bar drinking away. And every day he was late to his work. And the boss was just about to fire him. He was done with him, he told him any number of times, but he always came an hour, hour and a half late. And then he had a friend who also was his bar colleague. No, when you do something so regularly, he becomes your colleague, otherwise he may be just your buddy, okay? So, but that guy was going to office bang on time. So Shankaran Pillai, how do you manage this? Both of us go home at the same time, both of us drink about the same quantities, but you're always at the office on time. So the friend said, what I do is, see, normally we are going home by 12 o'clock, I sleep immediately. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and have another shot of whiskey. I sleep. At 4 o'clock, I wake up and have another 2 shots of whiskey, and then I wake up at 8 o'clock and I'm 9 o'clock in the office. Shankaran Pillai thought, let me also try it. And he went and tried the same thing. And to his amazement, he woke up at 8:30 and he rushed to the office. He made it just before 9:30. The boss was furious. He said, this is it, you're done, you're fired. He said, why? Every day I was coming an hour and a half late. Today I'm only 27 minutes late. What do you mean 27 minutes? Where were you on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday? So where were you all these 364 or 3 days? And suddenly you are in a celebration mode. Everybody should ask this question to themselves. Today a lot of people are miserable because there is a 144 and there is also a more serious word, curfew in the night. Oh. So, 2022 they are going to start in a very morose way because can you believe it, a government that is against celebration? These are the debates that are going on today. Active debates are going on. And why is it that you are not celebrating these 364 days? Only one day you're trying to celebrate. I'm not trying to say you never were happy, you never were joyful this year, but I'm saying it's extremely important because the nature of life is, it's rolling away. That's what a new year means. That is, it's not stopping for you. Whether you were locked up in the house or you're locked up in the office or you were in the gutter, doesn't matter. Time is rolling away. Time is rolling away means life is rolling away. So when this is the nature of life, the time is a ceaseless mill going on, there is a different way to approach time. The most important thing is that a human being has to learn to be still. So if I don't do anything, will it be useful? You need to really examine this whole year. Have you been busy or have you been preoccupied? You think if your RPM in the head increases, you're busy? No, you're not busy, you become inefficient. To generate one sensible thought, you are generating 10,000 thoughts, that is inefficiency. One thought that you need to act, that's all you need. Why do you need 10,000 thoughts to arrive at that, if at all, if you ever arrive at that? So this inefficiency, do not call it busy, this is just preoccupation. This preoccupation has become a global phenomenon now because people do not know how to sit, how to breathe, how to hold themselves up. Because nowhere in the education system it is there, they told you if you eat protein, vitamin, this, you will be fine, everything will be okay. You will survive, of course. But if you want to realize the potential of what it means to be human, if you want to unfold your humanity, if you want to unfold your genius, you need a space where the outside doesn't really enter. You need a space within you where just this is there, the world is around you. Actually, the world is only around you, it is not inside of you. But for most human beings, it is inside. They close their eyes, it'll drive them crazy from inside. So this is because nothing has been done, no work has been done on such a phenomena of a machine. The most sophisticated technology on the planet is this one. Nothing has been done even to find the levers or can't even say a keyboard anymore, touch screen. What does what? Somehow. So in trying to fix the world for our comfort, we are coming to a point where we are destroying the very source of our existence. It is far more dire than people think it is right now. The narrative in the world has been very, I don't want to go into this because I need the whole world with me for 2022. Because this will not happen unless everybody involves themselves. The question is not about who caused what, because always movements have been run by creating an enemy. This is what is unique about Isha, that there is no enemy, but we are still busy all the time. Because we know we are responsible for everything that's happening. We may be directly involved, we may not be directly involved, but we are 100% responsible for everything that every human being does in this world and everything that's happening and not happening. Because this is what consciousness means. This is what becoming a human being means, because every other creature is structured in a way that it is defined as to what it is. The only undefined life on this planet is the human being. And this is what a whole lot of human beings are suffering. They would like a definition. This is why they attach themselves to a philosophy, an ideology, a religion, a belief system, because they're trying to put themselves into a definition. But the greatest beauty of being human is, this life is not defined. It is not defined means it's free, that's what it means. But freedom is a scary thing. You would like to be among the four walls because freedom looks like scary. But that's what you always strive for unknowingly. When it comes, you're afraid. This is something to be addressed. This coming year, I hope every one of you will address this fundamental aspect. Are you living to be free, to be liberated, or are you living just to establish more and more bondage in your life? Because bondage is a definition of life. This happened to me one day. I was just 19 or just over 19, little under 20, and I decided to start my own farm. And because I chose not to go to the next aspect of education, which was to go for masters in the university. Because of that, family had become a little bit angry with me, and they thought I'm just throwing away my life and whatever. I have thrown it away at you. Don't waste it. So, I was… when you're 19, how much… it's not like today, there's somebody's claiming he's a 13-year-old, but he's a CEO of some big company. Those are not the days. At 19, we were just wild creatures, okay? So, at 19, I'm trying to raise fund among my friends and start a enterprise. So, I'm on a… not a shoestring budget, Velcro budget. Everything hurts, So I'm on a Velcro budget, and I just have one labor. And I build the whole farm myself with my own hands, from making the fences to building the buildings. I'm saying, I can still do brick masonry, carpentry, welding, everything, because I did everything at that time myself. And then I had taken a small loan from a bank. Then they had to come for a completion certificate. And they came and looked at it and said, "It's not complete." I said, "Why?" They said, "It's not painted." I said, "God damn it." It's in a remote place. Why should I paint it? They said, "No, unless it's painted, we can't give you completion certificate." This is the time when every rupee hurts. Then I go and look around where paint, I look to the paint shop, it's all too expensive for me. Then I go to a friend who was doing military engineering contracts. And he said, "I got some waste paint, I'll give you at a nominal price." So I went to him and bought. I thought there will be colors to choose. I went there, he had only one farm blue, which is the worst color that I would ever use. And he said, "This is the only color." And almost at no price, he gave it to me. So I brought this and I dipped a brush and I don't want to waste time on painting because first of all, I don't believe this building needs painting. It was mud color because I had used, a mixture of mud and lime to build this and it was mud color. That's why in Vengeance, all the buildings in Isha Yoga Center are mud color. Then I don't want to waste time on this, so I dipped this big brush and just walk like this, holding it on the wall. Then initially it came out thick and as I went simply, still I'm thinking, why the hell do they want this building painted? I cannot understand why it needs to be painted, where in a very remote place I am. Then as I do this, then the paint came out thick and then, lighter, 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 became nothing. I looked at this and then I burst into tears and I sat down there, spent half a day with this one paint stroke. I can never forget that paint stroke, because suddenly I realized the whole creation is just this. From the gross physicality of definitions to various other aspects and dimensions of life, to consciousness which is definitionless. So that one paint stroke made me realize something. I was about 3 days late on my painting. But I'm just saying this because this is all it is. Life is moving from clear definitions to definitionless space. A human being has to be in a definitionless space. This definition of race, religion, nationality, ideologies, philosophies, how much pain we have caused to ourselves and each other. How much? It's you cannot gauge it, how much pain we have caused and how much pain we're continuing to cause simply because we're trying to create artificial definitions to a life that cannot be defined. So this is what yoga means, that the definitions of the body, the definitions of the boundaries of our mind, we obliterate this and become definitionless, because that is the nature of the existence. So he just makes his presence felt now when I talk about it. It's all he's just making a statement, he's copying everything from me, it's me. I'm not saying no. So, if we do not raise human consciousness, if human beings do not learn at least to spend a few minutes of their day in some sense of undefined space within themselves, not as a person, which is a definition, not as a man or a woman, which is a definition, not as a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian, which is a definition, not as white, black, blue, yellow, whatever other nonsense you are. All these are variety of definitions, just to be here without definition. In a way, that is what to be meditative means, that you're undefined, simply, as life should be. Because your ideas of individuality are definitions that you've made up in your mind. As you sit here, as I already said, as you sit here, without the umbilical cord of breath and bread, you cannot exist. Where is your definition, I am asking? At a much deeper level, there are trillions of organisms functioning here which have nothing to do with you. They don't know it's a new year. Hello? All these guys who are here, they don't know it's a new year and they don't care, because they're every day on, full on. So at a time like this, or at any time for that matter, an intelligent human being will make use of every situation for his or her growth. A fool will make every situation turn against themselves and cause pain to themselves and to everybody around them. This is all there is to life. Is your brains working for life or against life? So, if you lived a year full of foolishness and suddenly tomorrow morning with resolution you will come awake, no, one has to strive. But at the same time, a human being can make up their mind. If you're going this way, you can make up your mind, turn around and go this way. You have the ability to do this. I'm telling you, you are the only one who has the ability to do it upon this planet as a human being. All other creatures are ruled by pre-existing definitions within themselves. They can only do that which they are programmed for. This is the only one which is largely unprogrammed. So you can make up your mind. You can make a conscious decision as to how I will be. This is not a small privilege. This is the highest privilege and freedom that has been entrusted upon life upon this planet. No other life has this kind of freedom. But if you are still struggling to fix boundaries, if you are still wanting to create your own little I usually call this pea kingdom, because you see the dogs going peeing all over the place, not because they have any urinary problem, it's their kingdom. They're setting their boundaries. Setting boundaries is not the nature of the human being, because once the brain flowered, the cerebral cortex expanded, the longing to expand limitlessly is the nature of the human being. There is still an animal within us as a part of the evolutionary process which has strong survival instincts. I am not saying survival is a bad thing, survival is a good thing, but if you wear your body too tight, I'm not just talking about clothes, I'm talking about the body. If you wear your body too tight, you will not know all those things, you'll only have survival instincts. Eating, sleeping, reproduction, these are the only three things which will rule your life. We must evolve. The virus has given us a break from many things to look at things little more carefully, not to sit and fret, not to sit at home and fret, to sit at home and look at what is the nature of my life, what is it that I'm missing here. Why is it sitting, standing seems to be uncomfortable? What is it? Time to look at it. You don't need any scripture, you don't need any teaching, you don't need any guru. Your intelligence is capable of figuring it out. Somebody can direct you, see if you do it this way, you will arrive there quick. That's all. But every human being has the necessary intelligence to do this, but still not happening. So next year is dedicated to creating a conscious planet. We are keeping soil as the theme, but it's not just about that. And I think all of you know something about it already, so I will not really go into this. And can I tell you one more year's plan? The coming year, as you know, we're trying to move over 3 billion people to say one big yes. I want to hear one big yes, simply. Yeah. So it doesn't matter what the hell it is, say yes, huh? Yes to life. When we were doing the first wholeness program, 90-day event in that Kaivalya hut, so I keep putting so many things in front of them and ask, yes or no, yes or no. They looking at it and like this. One day after probably from 55 or 60 days, I think around 55, 56 days, I walk into the hall, there they put up a board, Sadhguru, yes and yes. I said, if you're yes and yes, we can do things with you. If you're yes and no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, what to do with you? You can only do survival process. You cannot ramp this life up to its limits. If you are yes, no, 100% yes to life, this is what you should do this year. Hello? We will do it next year, no, this year, now. One big yes to life. And those of you who are already, in many cities, if you're watching, those of you already think, yes, but why there is curfew? I want to say yes. I'm talking about yes to life. Life is not in your activity, life is here. It's happening right now. The question is only how intensely is it happening? Or how much, hey. If you pitch it up to the highest possible intensity that you can manage right now, you will see you naturally become still. You will see, you will wear your body loose. You will see the definitions that your mind manufactures, the definitions that society tries to impose upon you, all these things will not limit you. That is the most important thing. For this, you need a higher pitch of life. Don't live lukewarm. You're saving it for the next year. No, that no is all right, no. Only thing is in Tamil Nadu, they won't say no. They'll say no. They never say one no. Yes is always only one yes. No. No, one no will do, okay? When something has to be refused, one no will do. Life is not in its activity. Do not identify your life as something that you wear, something that you do, your job, your family, your property, your wealth, your nonsense, that is not life. Those are accessories of life. We've added those things to our life. Why? To enhance this life, isn't it? Hello? Would you find a job if you clearly knew this is going to sabotage your life? You believe it'll enhance, that is why you get into it. Would you get married if you clearly know? Am I entering a wrong space? Okay. You did everything thinking it'll enhance this life, isn't it? So you need to understand, life's accessories are there, we treat them with utmost respect and involvement, but it is about life. Everything else is additions. If you misunderstand the accessories as life, then you're not even an individual, you're not even alive, you spread all over the place, you are a crowd of ideas, you're a crowd of thoughts and emotions that you cannot even gather yourself. This is what has happened to people right now, especially with technology giving so much access to the world. This has become a very fashionable thing everywhere. I've been in California for almost a month in the Strip, and I'm meeting all prominent people and people who are celebrities. Everybody is talking about, the universe tells me. Oh. If universe willing, we will do it. So I just observed this and said, all that's happened is, you replace the word universe. You found the word universe as a replacement for a much simpler word called God. Instead of a three alphabetic letter, word like G-O-D, you made universe. Most of them cannot spell it because they're all grown up on the iPads and cell phones. So, this listening to the universe, talking to the universe, above all loving the universe, is a little dangerous thing, because loving something that is not here is a very convenient trick. See, now if you have to behave lovingly to the person who is sitting next to you, who's like on you, you may drool also. Then you know you need some… yeah. Universe. No problem. Loving the universe is a very wonderful idea, but it's a trick to deceive yourself and nobody but yourself, that's all. Because whoever told you all these planets and stars and whatever else is out there and the empty space needs your love? Only human beings and dogs need it, all right? Hello? All the other animals also, but generally, because people understand dog is love these days. It's a human emotion necessary for human beings to create a conducive atmosphere within ourselves and within the groups of people that we may come together. Love is just a lubrication to see that human beings don't scratch each other's faces all the time. Hello? Transactions, every transaction can become frictious if there is no some sense of love for each other, isn't it? They're saying, yeah. You heard that. So, don't make these resolutions, I'll do this, I'll do that. The simple thing is this, on an everyday basis, you must keep some account of what are you doing to yourself as a life. Because most human beings are not conscious that they're mortal. This happened. One day a guru was sitting like this among his people and was talking to them. A stranger came from somewhere and abused him very badly. And then he went away. And there is one of these close disciples sitting here. He got very furious. He got up, Guru said, just sit down. And that man left after exhausting his vocabulary. Then the disciple said, "What are you doing here? We are all striving to be here, we all look up to you, we respect you, and this man comes and abuses you, and you don't do anything, you don't handle him, you don't do anything about it, you let him go." Then the Guru said, come here. He said, say, leave that man. He said, no, how can we leave that man? I want to go do this and that. See, those days, only one individual stranger would come and do. It's not like today, it's social media. 100 idiots are there who don't know a thing about anything. We're going on full on abusing. So the Guru called this disciple and said, see, I have something more important to say to you. What is that? He said, you have only one more week to live. What? But that man, leave that man, you have only one more week to live. And Guru got up and left. So this guy struggled, only one more week to live. He forgot about that guy. And then he sought permission, can I go out of the ashram, I want to meet my mother, I want to meet my father, this. Said, go wherever you want. So he traveled here and there, met people, with everybody, with utmost humility and love. He behaved because he knows he has only one more week, he cannot tell anybody. And he went for 3-4 days, he loitered all over the place. And slowly he realized, this is all the time I have. And by the time he came back on the 5th, 6th day, he thought the best place to die for him is at the feet of his Guru. So he came back. On the 7th day morning, once again the Guru was sitting here. He came and he prostrated himself. I came here because this is where I would like to die. The Guru looked at him and said, oh, you're looking really wonderful. Very joyful, loving, very inclusive, all boundaries gone of what is me, what is not me. You're doing great, I think you should live for some more time. If you are only conscious that you are mortal, your intelligence will organize itself. You don't have to tell it any philosophy. No scripture, philosophy, teaching, nothing is needed. If you are conscious, you are a limited piece of life with a small leash of time upon you, and any time it can end. If you're always conscious of this, then your intelligence, your entire system… When I say intelligence, don't think of only the silly thoughts that you're having in your head. There is enormous intelligence in the very bone and flesh that you are. Otherwise, how would this happen? The intelligence of the creation is functioning here. If you understand this is a limited phenomena and it'll be over and gone for good. Somebody's celebrating. If you know this, your intelligence will organize itself in the best possible way. So I know people would think this is morbid, but if you want to know some sense of stillness and some sense of a continuum of blissfulness within you, which nobody can take away from you, one most fundamental thing is you're conscious that you're mortal. Sadhguru NewYear something say about life, I am talking about life only, because life is encased in death. Hello? Saying pretty things to each other is not going to transform anybody. It's all right to say those things, but if you want transformation, you must see truth in its face continuously, so that the initial phase of disturbance is gone and then you settle to the reality of what it is. Only then this life will flourish, it'll unfold in its fullest possible way and human genius will flower. See these few thousand people, lot of young people, you are 20, 25, 30, 35, somewhere around that, because 60% of India is supposed to be under 35, if I'm correct. If 1 billion people are 600,000 people, am I correct? No. no, 600 million people. 600 million people. Even if their genius flowers partially, oof, you know what a miracle it'll become, this nation and this world, not just the country, the entire world. 600 million people, if they open up their genius beyond the limitations they've set for themselves. Nobody has set these limitations for you. Nature has not set this limitation for you. It is just you. You'll say, no, my father told me, my priest told me, my this told me. Arey, they will tell whatever they tell. You were given brains to look at life the way you want, right? Everybody can say whatever they want to say. You have an intelligence, you have a consciousness to be able to look at life, what it is. All the many other things which are written in the scriptures you cannot see. This is written in this scripture, that this is mortal. Hello? It is written, 100% clearly written. Only an idiot has come to a place where he thinks he is forever. This is mortal. If you just know this every moment of your life, you will see your intelligence will organize itself in a way that the world will become a phenomenal place. So 2022, it's not about you taking one resolution, I'll get up in the morning, I'll do Shambhavi, I'll do this. No, 2022 will leave the damn world in a much better place than the way it is right now. Time-wise, we can just take only one question. And also, we will close this with Divya Darshanam. I think there is no time for that one question. And at midnight or at 11:40, there is Nadaradhana which will continue till probably 12:30 AM. So, being in the presence of Dhyanalinga as your first step for the coming year is a great way to start it, because Dhyanalinga is in many ways absolute stillness and highest level of vibrance in one place. So please make use of that space, at least for a few moments, spend some time there, and otherwise sit around the temple, just sit still. It's a new way to celebrate, intense and still. Being conscious that we are just a tiny little sparkle in the timescape of this existence. Sparkle at its highest glory, hello? Very little time to sparkle. You must sparkle full on, not tomorrow, today. Just in terms of time, I'm trying to remind you, you are alive for a very brief period of time, but you will be dead for a very, very long time. So make the best out of the life that you are. And do not misunderstand lifestyle as life. Lifestyles come and go according to the times in which we live. Life is the only thing that you have. There's really nothing else. The phenomena of life is the only thing that's happening here. Rest is all in your head. Hello? Let's make it happen.
Shambho, Shambho, Maha भूतभूतेश्वराय कालकालकालेश्वराय शिव शिव सर्वेश्वराय शम्भो शम्भो महादेवाय योग योग योगेश्वराय भूत भूत भूतेश्वराय काल काल कालेश्वराय शिव शिव सर्वेश्वराय शम्भो शम्भो महादेवाय
Over 15,000 years ago, a being appeared in the upper regions of Himalayas. No one knew who he was, where he came from. The origins of this spectacular being were unknown. When his ecstasy allowed him some movement, he danced wildly. When intensity peaked, he became utterly still. People saw that he was experiencing dimensions that no one had ever known or able to fathom. His ecstasy and intensity allowed him to transcend his physical form. Witnessing an individual human in union with the cosmos, they called him a yogi, as he was the first one, the Adi-yogi. When his stillness lasted for years on end, curious onlookers melted away. Only 7 seekers remained, as they could not tear themselves away from him. He transmitted the profound science of yoga in its full depth and dimension. He expounded 112 methods of attainment, offering his disciples access to the deepest innards of creation. In this magnificent state of yoga, many mysteries of the created and the uncreated cascaded upon his unbridled wild hair. It was a vision of the very core of the cosmos in all its profundity and magnificence, a vision of the unfathomable mysteries of the universe, a most overwhelming vision the sages and Devi Parvati had ever witnessed. Devi Parvati, seeing Adiyogi reveling in ecstatic states, said, "I want to have what you have. Show me the way." Adiyogi absorbed her and made her a part of himself, and hence he is the Ardhanari, the ideal man, where one half of him is woman. Seeing the splendor of this magnificent union, Ghanas, his constant companions, asked, "What about us?" Adiyogi said, "Just drink of me," which drove them into intoxicated raptures. Seven sages, the Saptarishis, took the sacred science of yoga in all its forms to human habitations across the planet, which turned into crucibles of civilization. This spectacular being is not of the past, but the future of humanity. To move humanity from hallucinations of ups and downs to nameless ecstasies of one's interiority. Mahadevaya Namaha, Mahadevaya Namaha, Mahadevaya Namaha.
Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhute शिव शिव सर्वेश्वराय शम्भो शम्भो महादेवाय।
ஒரு நோக்கம் தானே பூக்களெல்லாம் மலர்வதென